is up, my friends? Welcome to Friday's episode, Craft of Fatherhood podcast. This is your guide, Ned Schaut. I believe our role as fathers has the power to change the world simply by knowing who we are and embracing the adventure. On these episodes, I'll share stories from my own fatherhood journey. The question I want you to wrestle with today, tonight, this weekend is, what are you modeling? What are you modeling for your kids? This has come up a couple times on the last few podcasts of, talking to gentlemen about their lives, about their adventure of fatherhood. And, this question had popped into my mind recently because it's like, as my girls are getting older, I'm more and more aware, like as they're dating and stuff, like soon, one of these boys is going to be like future son-in-law. And so this idea of marriage and maybe this realization that like, we just don't have control of it and really got to pray and hope and teach that this is coming. And so the question came to me of like, what am I modeling to my family? If I talk about how important marriage is, are my kids falling asleep at night more days than not going, I want what mom and dad have one day? Not that they're thinking about anything other than themselves as they're falling asleep at night. But the point is, if the way that I'm showing up in my marriage relationship is chaotic, because I'll tell you this, recently sitting down with a family, they have some kids in their 20s. They had gone through a divorce and didn't seem very fun. Not that any of them do, and I'm not saying that everyone will turn out like this. And you should frankly go listen to Gary Stacia's podcast. He married a woman with some kids, and he had just a beautiful story of how it worked out, but it was very intentional. So the point is, I was sitting down, I was talking to the daughter, young 20s. Hey, what are you doing? School, college, gonna get married? Nope. Do you want to, well, maybe have a partner for, like live with my boyfriend for a while, but never get married. I don't want kids. And that is okay, right? That is okay. Although I believe that in this scenario of our conversation around that, it wasn't because it was this, I'm just not made for that, or this conscious decision. It just felt like no way in hell would I want to deal with everything that I saw dealt with growing up. And so that's the question, and that's probably extreme, but what is the picture? What is the modeling that you and I are giving to our kids? We may talk about how important things are, but what are we modeling? So a few questions for you to consider. What words are you modeling in your home? That's an area that I can grow. How are you speaking about others? So when you speak about others, what are your kids hearing? How do you speak about your boss? How do you speak about your neighbor? How do you speak about the pastor? How do you speak about your wife when she's not in the room? How do you speak about the other kids when they're not in the room? How do you talk about others? What are you modeling there? Again, the marriage, what are you modeling? Are you modeling not perfection, not hiding stuff, but are you modeling that you are dying to self, that you are not all about you, and that you are fighting for a belief in something bigger than just your own happiness in the moment? How are you modeling work? Am I setting a good tone for my son? Am I setting a good expectation for my daughters when they work, or for what their expectation would be from their husband? What am I modeling? And then when I work, and this is a freaking huge area that I can grow in, are you approachable at work? Are you kind? Do people want to be around you? And I would say most times, maybe I'm being a little harsh, but I would say my family's like, ooh, dad's working. Okay, dad's working. And I've been fighting to get better and better and better at that, but I am not there. How do you speak about the house? What are you modeling in your home? Are you modeling on the far end, like rigid, there's no peace, everything has to be perfect? Or are you modeling, we don't give a shit about this place, doesn't matter, doesn't care? What are you modeling in the home? What is the value that you're setting up in the home? So evaluate your own life. What are you modeling to your kids? If your kids were to go write a paper at school, this is what my dad cares about, or this is what my dad's values are, or this is the tone my dad sets in the house, or this is the type of life my dad is living. This is the type of decisions my dad makes. This is how my dad responds, reacts, shows up. Are those things what they would write the way that you want them to show up? And it cannot be do as I say, not as I do. It doesn't work that way. So consider what you are modeling. All right. I want to end these episodes with an affirmation. It's probably going to shift and change, but repeat after me. I'll go slow. Think about this. It's really important. Who do you say that you are? Who do you say? Not what does your wife say? What do your kids say? What does your boss say? What do your employees say? Who do you say that you are? And that's an affirmation. So if you're not sure, I don't really know who I am or who I say that I will, start to tell yourself who it is that you want to be and then start doing what that guy does, because we all get to choose our words, our actions, our thoughts. Okay, I am the CEO, the father of this family. I am here to listen, provide for, to protect, and to care for those that have been placed in my care. No one is going to do this for me. This is my opportunity, my responsibility, and my honor. My friends, please write a review. If these conversations are helpful, share it with a friend. Remember who you are. You are a father, and that matters. You matter. Together, let's rebel against the view that fatherhood has little impact, and let's create lives engaged in mastering the craft of fatherhood. Much love to you, my brothers. Together, we're changing the world. I look forward to hanging out with you next week.